Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show tonight is Rangers Royalty, the one and only Colin Stein. Evening, Colin.
Evening, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How's your good self?
I'm all right, yeah. I'm fine.
Keeping busy, keeping well.
Yeah, aye.
And how's your wee mate keeping?
He's all right. He's improving, yeah. He wasn't well for a while, but he's certainly improved. We're in tomorrow, obviously, the Dundee game, so...
There's no show with
okay.
foot punch or a double actor.
Well, we've been mates for quite a while now, so I always look out for him if I can.
So I've been looking at your career, Colin, and obviously you're a Scottish boy growing up, and you started playing junior football. And do you think that was a path that maybe it was at different times, in the academies, the people weren't spoiled, and then you came out the junior ranks and signed for the Hibs? But you growing up, sport a big part of your life?
Oh, I played football, since I can remember, as a kid and that. Usually, I come from Phillips in a little village. I played with the guys there, and through to school, and then on to, juvenile football, and before junior. So I played juvenile as well before going to Armadale Thistle as a junior.
And it wasn't you weren't the only footballer in your family, were you?
I wasn't, no. My oldest brother Eric, he played for junior Scotland, but he got injured in his knee and he couldn't play. And my brother, second brother, Robert, he played with Braith Rovers, Montrose, and I actually played under Sir Alex Ferguson at East Stirling.
Right, okay. So it was in the blood, was it?
Well, I think so, yeah. My father played as well. My father died when I was young, but he played junior as well.
Right.
So, must have been in your genes.
Competitive for his family, together with his boys?
Oh, yeah. Always competitive, yeah, definitely.
Everything?
My oldest brother always says he was the best player in the family, but I doubt that.
You've got to look up to him and give him a bit of respect.
Yes,
so you went
right,
for junior, and you went for junior, and you walked into and started playing with the Hibs. Now, at that time, for some of our younger listeners, Scottish teams could compete with most teams, eh?
That's right, Well, that time, with, John Blackley was Peter Marinello, just about the same time, John Brownlee, a little bit later than that. Hibs had a right good team then, with Pat Stanton and Jim O'Rourke and that. Eric Stevenson, a really good team. But obviously, Alan McGraw as well, but I was only breaking in, I was in the reserves. But, just working hard at the training and trying to score goals, that's all.
Aye. There was a name that surprised me. I hadn't connected him with the Hibs. A guy I always had a big Rangers player, Alex Scott, who was there when you went to the Hibs as well.
That's right,
as well, aye.
He was, he's a typical winger, Alex, a great player. Had a great innings with Rangers as well. He was playing actually for Scotland in the reserves, and Wally Henderson was playing the first team, and Wally Henderson broke through. And then, he went to Everton and then come back to Hibs, but he was still a good player then. And his brother played as well, Jim Scott.
Right.
So the two of them played.
So you made your debut as an 18-year-old. 18, we'll call it 18 and a half for the want of a better word, you made your debut against Morton.
That's right, aye.
But it didn't take you long. A week later, you scored your first goal.
Well, I remember the first game, I think we won, scored about 2-3, I think, and Jim O'Rourke, I think, scored a couple. I didn't score my debut, but I scored, I think, next week, didn't I? You said.
A week later. Against the Fall Cup, yeah?
All right, aye. Where was that? Easter Road or Brockville?
Yeah, away.
Right, aye.
Yeah, so it didn't take you long before you started scoring goals, and how did you feel the step up for junior football to start playing with top pros, yeah?
Yeah, it was a big step up, yeah. I think the experience you got in junior football was good for me anyway. Nowadays, well, they don't have junior highlights, lowland leagues and everything like that, so different altogether. And there's no a lot of guys for the juniors to come up now. You know, it's usually guys that play the juniors are going back the way. But junior football for me was a great experience for me.
Aye, you actually scored 2 against Falkirk that day.
Oh, did I?
You lost 3-2, you get the 2, aye.
Oh, we got beat the bit.
Aye, you get beat 3-2.
All right, huh?
But you scored 2, you can't blame yourself for that, mate.
Oh, no, you got, well, that's your job if you're scoring goals, eh?
And then your third game happened to be at Ibrox.
Yeah.
You know, so aye, so your third game's at Ibrox. So you've come into team 18-year-old. You played your first 6 games. You've scored a double and you've scored 2 singles. So you're starting to make a name for yourself as a young pro, eh? You know, and at that time, I mean, that was 66. As I said, the Hibs were competing in Europe, and Rangers and Celtic were getting to European finals around about that era. Scottish football was maybe at its peak of its powers, and you were, as an 18-year-old, burning it up, mate.
Well, back then, Celtic and Rangers were competing in Europe, you know, every year, and I'm not talking about just surviving, you know, finals and semi-finals and that. And Hibs had a couple of good runs in Europe as well when I was there. We played Napoli and they beat us 4-1 in Napoli, which I got a consolation goal, and we taken them Easter Road, and I remember Dino Zoff was in goals. He was a great Italian goalkeeper, and we beat them 5-0, you know, at Easter Road, which was a fantastic result.
I remember reading about that once. The Italian said it was too cold, Colin.
Well, a couple of them didn't come. They thought it was just a formality, but they soon found out it wasn't a formality.
No, and when you look back now and you look now how football's changed and how the teams compete, I mean, a lot of these lads were local lads, Central Belt of Scotland, yeah, who were competing with these teams all over Europe, yeah.
That's right, aye. Well, obviously Celtic were 11 Scots, and so were Rangers in 72. So, I mean, when you look at Celtic and Rangers now, there's very few Scotsmen, isn't there? I
think the last 3 games, Rangers haven't played a Scotsman.
That's right, aye.
You know, John Suter was the last one to play in the European tie. So the last 2.
Right. Aye.
Yeah. You know, but how things have changed. So you're moving on, and you're starting to score goals. And what was it like as a young man? What was it like?
It's fantastic. You know, you're in the limelight and you're playing centre forward and you're scoring goals. Well, what more can you ask for if you're doing your job every week in, week out? Absolutely tremendous.
And who were the guys who stuck out as opponents? Because obviously the game was different then. For a start, you could tackle from behind. It was a lot more physical then, yeah?
Well, you've got the English teams who played Harris, Smith, Hunter, Charlton. I mean, they all had men that would, you know, kick right through you. It was a different game then. It was, well, I always say it was a man's game. It is a man's game now, but you know, as soon as you get tackled, now suddenly just lying down and things like that. But it was hard to play up front then.
Aye. Because when you're back to goal, people could come right through you.
Yeah, that's right. Aye.
Different game. But it's hard to compete against eras. But so you've started scoring goals, and then there's interest for you to sign for not just the club that I'm particularly fond of, but there was other teams interested in.
Oh, that's right. When I was at Hibs.
You mean
well, Everton wanted to sign me. Harry Carrick, well, he was one of the top managers then in Everton. They were the top team in England then, wanted to sign me. They come up from England, and I spent a day with Harry Carrick. I'm trying to sign me, but you know, I did the sign, and I signed the next day, you know, for Rangers for the next 2 days. But the Everton and Everton one, I said, they made me a great offer, tremendous offer, and they're a good team. Alan Ball, all them played in it. And so I went back at night and I looked at my map, and I couldn't find Everton. so there you are.
And is that what changed your mind? How did the Rangers move come about then, Colin?
Well, I'd spoke to Davy White previously, and he was desperate to sign me. And after I turned down Everton, I went in the next morning, obviously Easter Road training, and I got some pelters for, my teammates, Wee Roofke and all them, gave me stick. They signed for him. So I went home. I got a train home to Linlithgow. Guy met me at Linlithgow. Jumped in his car back to Edinburgh to a little hotel just opposite the zoo.
Right.
And I signed for Rangers. Matt Taylor, who was the vice chairman, and Davy White. And that was me the next day. I signed for Rangers.
And then your life would never be the same again, eh?
Oh, unbelievable. I thought it was good at Hibs, but couldn't touch Rangers.
So you've walked in the door and there's the dressing room, there's guys that are maybe, obviously Hibs are a good team, but guys that are stars, and you made a pretty good start, eh?
Aye, not bad. Well, my first game was at Arbroath, and fantastic crowd there. I don't know what Arbroath holds, but I never seen any Arbroath supporters or Rangers supporters. And I had a quiet first half. Ollie Johnson scored 2 goals. And then about 70th minute, 80th minute, I scored 3 goals in about 5 minutes in my debut, which was unbelievable. Plus, you get the supporters on your side right away, which is a big plus with Rangers, because sometimes it can be a bit fickle, but if you get them on your side, fantastic. Do you want my second game?
Aye, well, you just kept scoring. You just kept scoring, didn't you?
Well, my second game was against Hibs, eh?
How was that? How did that feel?
I was getting pelters for them.
Right.
In the tunnel and that, they gave me stick. And actually, my best man was in goals for Hibs, Thompson Allen, that particular day. So anyway, I scored a hat trick again, which is unbelievable. And the crowd were going mental, eh? And I had a Thompson and Liz, that was his wife, and Thompson didn't say a lot that night. He didn't say much.
Right. Wally Henderson scored that day. Wally Johnson and Origin Person, yeah?
That's right, aye.
Aye.
Yeah. And I think they scored, didn't they? I think guys from Celtic scored.
I wouldn't know that one, Colin.
No, you were before your time.
So you've scored 2 hat tricks your first 2 games. And things just went through. There was 50,000 turned up at the Ibrox to see that day, and then your next game you're playing the Inter-Cities Cup against Dundalk.
Dundalk, aye.
What happened? You only get 2 that day.
I know. Well, I always get stuck to wee buddy says that everybody bet me to score 3. Actually, I scored 2 and I hit the post and it ran along the line. The pitch was terrible, and it hit the other post and come out. So that's how close I was to 3 hat tricks. But 8 in 3 games isn't bad, is it?
No, it's not bad. By the way, the trivia question: who scored the 3rd one that night? Can you remember?
Oh, wait now. Oh, I guess Andy Penman, no?
No, I would have never got it myself. Willie Matheson.
Oh, did he?
Aye,
Willie Matheson. I should remind you of that, because I can't remind you of Willie scoring.
I'll actually check out and see how many goals he scored. But he scored the 3rd one that night. He scored right at half time.
I would never have got that in 100 years, no.
No.
Never have got that.
So your careers took off. You became a star, and it's not just the first 3 games. In your first 7 games, you scored 6 of the matches, Colin.
Aye.
So you've made some start, and that particular period in your career, just then you're getting capped with Scotland as well. What did that feel like? Because that's a big thing.
Well, I think when you're growing up as a boy and that, you obviously want to play for your country, and then to actually play for your country is unbelievable, isn't it? And you're playing with the best players in Scotland. Well, most of them a lot of them were for England as well, then, because all the good English teams had Scotsmen playing with them. Well, it's just something it's hard to explain. It's just everything you wanted to do to play for your country.
Mm-hmm. And you done no bad that particular year nearer, did you? Scoring goals for Scotland, eh?
I scored quite a few, and actually I think I scored 6 or 7 goals in the trot for Scotland.
You scored 8
consecutive games.
You scored 8 goals, but I need to get this checked out. You scored against the 4 British Isles team in a calendar year.
That's right, I did, aye.
Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Wales and England in a calendar year. Remarkable.
Yeah. The only problem with the England game was they scored 4.
Don't worry about that. No, they had a good side as well, but
a brilliant side,
you know. So you're in your early 20s. You've played with a good Hibs side. You've scored goals for Rangers. So yeah, your career's taken off. But were you enjoying it? Were you buzzing? Was life great?
Life was tremendous. And when I signed for Rangers, they wanted me to go to Newton Mearns to stay. Right. But my wife was feeling Lithgow, and I was for Phillips just along the road, and I decided to stay in Lithgow. And I think it's the best call I ever made. Everybody knew me in Lithgow. So I got a bit of stick, but nothing like when I went to Glasgow and that, it was sometimes unbearable, eh? Right. So I think that was a good call, staying at Lithgow. And obviously I still stay here just now.
Where your roots are, where your friends are.
That's right, aye. Still got a bit stick, but not as much as I got when I was shooting Glasgow. One payment you were God, the other one you were questioning your parentage.
Yeah, I can imagine. You made your All Firm debut that first season against us, against them, and a 1-0 victory, 85,000. John Gregg scored for the penalty.
That's right, I know I didn't score a lot against Celtic, but 1 or 2, but there, yeah. That was Greggy scored,
Well, so and that was your All Firm debut, yeah.
Yeah.
And your competitive side still came out. You had a few run-ins with the referees.
Well, that was I started with the Hibs. Well, my first game at Ibrox was against Rangers, obviously, and I got sent off, didn't I? With a guy called Alex Ferguson. So that was my first game at Ibrox, and I was going up the old enclosure, and they were questioning my parentage. They were calling me all the Catholic bees and what heard them, and spitting on me and everything. And about 10 weeks later, I was signed with Rangers, and I was God. So it just shows you. It just shows you what can happen.
But no fickle football fans, eh?
Oh no. And I played 2-3 games with Fergie, with Rangers. After that, and a nicer guy and a harder guy you'll never get, I'll tell you. So.
He was there at the same time as you.
So that was my first experience at Ibrox.
Right. What was the difference between Hibs and Rangers? Was it a step up? Was the training more intense? Was it the pressure? What was the difference?
Well, the pressure was intense. The training was just about the same. I mean, it wasn't as tactical then. Nothing like it is now. And obviously the pitches are like bowling greens now. I mean, if you played in a part that had some grass in it, it was a miracle. It was all right doing the wings, but doing the centre, it was usually, dirt, and that was all it was. But the difference of Hibs and Rangers, well, firstly the crowds, and the support is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I always say West is best, but in saying that, I enjoyed my time at Hibs, and I always say I served my time at Hibs. I got a bit stick for it, but Hibs were a good team then, before I left. But Rangers was different altogether.
You've come in in the middle of an era where Rangers are arguably second best, but always competing, mate. Yeah, you know, it was always closer.
Yeah, I think Celtic were more consistent than us.
Right.
We could maybe have a great game one week, maybe another couple of weeks wouldn't be as good. But on our day, we were a match for any team, but we weren't as consistent as Celtic.
When you look back, can you put your finger on that?
Well, I don't know. Jock Stein rotated players. You know, he brought a young Kenny Dalglish and Macari in that for certain games, and it seemed to work for them. I think it's a lot easier if a team's playing well, bringing youngsters into it. But it's different when they're under pressure and that, and you know they've got to play youngsters. It's not a good scenario for them.
Getting youngsters into a team, a winning team's all right, but getting a youngster into a team under
pressure.
Well,
you look at all the great players here: Willie Johnson, Willie Henderson, Jimmy Johnson, Dennis Law. All these guys were in the first team at 17-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're talking about new 20-year-old, 21-year-olds. You know, well, he's got great potential. Surely he must have potential. Your potential must be reached for 21. I would have thought anyway.
Well, you played with Hibs, played with Scotland, moved to Rangers, and you were still only 21, huh?
Yeah, well, I know it's different now, but I don't know. But there's few youngsters break through into the first team, the big teams nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about England as well. There's very few and far between.
In your first season, there was some memorable games. The two games against Newcastle, they could have went either way. Yeah.
I thought we were a far better team than Newcastle, but Newcastle, you know, beat us over two legs. I thought we missed a penalty at Ibrox, but we didn't play well down in Newcastle. And the supporters didn't actually either because they come on the field, didn't they? It was a riot.
It was a wee bit excitable, huh?
But we didn't play well that night.
Right.
That's the only time I ever met Bill Shankly. He was in the players' room after it, and we were having a cup of tea and a pint and that. And he come out and he says, "Aye, son," he says, "the ball just didn't come through you the night." I'll never forget that. The one and only time I ever met him.
But you played for his brother had managed you by the Hibs, huh?
Oh, that's right, aye.
Different characters?
Oh, different altogether, Different altogether. But Bob Charney was quiet, but he got his message over, you know, he wasn't bawling and shouting and things like that. He was all right.
Well, it couldn't have been bad. They produced a decent team at Dundee and the Hibs, huh?
Oh, aye, that's right, aye. Well, just got a semi-final European Cup, didn't they? Dundee, aye.
Aye. Hard to believe now, isn't it?
Well, it's phenomenal, isn't it, when you think about it?
You know. So you're moving on, you're scoring goals, but we're just not getting close, and the support's desperate for success, huh? Desperate for success.
Of course, aye.
You know. When can you tell us what it's like when you're on a run of games? Because you were running most weeks and you were scoring regular, Colin, doubles, hat tricks, you know, and your record's nearly a goal every 2 games. It's up there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to, you know, to keep scoring and you know, losing games and things like that. It's, you know, you've got to get your teeth and get down to it again. You can only, you're the guys that can get out of it, eh? It's on the field. I mean, the manager's fair enough. Couldn't do everything, but it's 11 players on the field at the end of the day. So you've got to fight hard and just go on with it. Try and turn it round.
And who were the guys that you thought were the big players in that team, the Rangers team, end of the 60s, start of the 70s?
Well, two wingers, Willie Henderson, Willie Johnson. I mean, you know, you don't see wingers now.
No,
very seldom they play with wingers. And obviously, Tommy McLean, after that, he was different. He played a deeper game. But three of them were tremendous players to play with, and they gave you great crosses and that to go and attack. A winger's job is to get the ball, beat the man or whatever, and cross it over, and it's up to the strikers to do the job after that, isn't it?
Simple.
Well, it sounds simple, but it isn't that simple.
No, because there's other people trying to stop you.
Oh,
When you think back then, what's the games that stood out for you before we get? Well, I'm going to move on to maybe Barcelona, but when you've scored the goals and are they all firm games, the games that stand out, or could it just be a game away against Wraith Rovers that something's happened?
Well, talking about Wraith Rovers, that was another time I got sent off, and my brother was playing against me when I was with the Hibs.
Was he winding you up?
No, he was in the other side of the park. But I had great respect, for him. It's a silly thing to do. I got a verbal with Peter Cormack. Anyway, I got sent off, and I wasn't too proud of it that day. And there was my brother.
Was the game? I mean, there wasn't yellow cards then, so it was. First offence, you could get sent off.
Aye, that's right.
Aye, there was maybe no set warnings. Things that maybe changed a bit. Yeah.
You sometimes got a warning for Tiny Wharton, the big referee, but very few of them. Really, just I think once you get a reputation as well, it doesn't stand you in good stead.
Yeah, but when people talk, they maybe think you get sent off every week. You only get sent off 3 times in your Rangers career.
Aye, that's right.
Aye. Your wee mate might have got sent off more.
Well, Willie Johnson tells the story that he was a professional for 22 years, and he got sent off 22 times, and he said it was only once a year. So yeah. But he had to leave Scotland because they were threatening he was got to get 6 months or so. So he had to go. Well, he had to go to West Brom. So he didn't have an option to leave.
So I'll build it up, and we're starting to get a different group of players. The team's transforming. Other people are coming in, younger players, and then you had that magnificent run, 71, 72. It just grew arms and legs. Maybe a bit similar to last year for Seville, yeah. But the difference was that he's been only won the cup. But the teams he's played with, you played some exceptional teams, eh?
Oh, we certainly did, aye. They were all top teams in their countries, eh?
Aye.
There wasn't an easy game.
What was it? Apart from the final, who was the hardest opponent, you think? Is it the obvious one, Bayern Munich?
Bayern Munich, aye. Well, he had Swazenbeck, I think his name was. He was centre half, and Franz Beckenbauer was playing, and Müller and Breitner, and it's endless. They had about 9 internationals in their team. We went over there. Bayern were big favourites, eh? But we managed. We were training at Gullin at the time,
right?
Up and down the sands, and we were really, really fit. Fittest team in Scotland by far. And I was quite fit myself, and we got hammered for about 60 minutes over in Munich. But the last 30 minutes we played really well, and we got we got an equaliser, and that taken us back to Ibrox, where we outclassed Bayern that night and beat them 2-0. A young guy, Derek Parling, come into the team for John Gregg, and we had Alfie Cohen, the youngster. I don't know if he played that game, but Derek Johnson,
right.
All young lads, eh?
I'll just give you the team that night. Ibrox, the team that night was McCoy, Jordan, Matheson, Parlane, Jackson, Smith, McLean, Derek Johnson, Colin, Stein, Alan McDonald, and Willie Johnson.
So Alfie didn't play.
Right. So, I mean, you're right. Derek Parlane was in as a young lad. Derek Johnston was inexperienced as well, yeah?
Oh, that's right. Well, Derek Parley, and I think it was either him or Penman. Andy Penman was obviously experienced, but I think it was a surprise laddie when he played that night. And then obviously had the bonus of scoring the goal,
Aye,
which he still talks about.
Sandy Jardine get the one in the first minute.
That's right, yeah. Left peg as well. He's never kicked with his left peg in his life. He's not here anymore, but he didn't hit many with his left foot.
And that team basically, well, the majority of that team would only won the World Cup in '74.
That's right, aye. Oh, aye. Well, they were a class team, but I think they're maybe taking a bit of back with us,
Right.
And surprised. I even had Beckenbauer. Well, Beckenbauer was upsetting. You don't see him upset much. No, you didn't.
Had you got to them?
Eh?
Had you got to them? Had got in their head?
Oh, I definitely did. I admired the goal he cracked up with the crowd and that, and they were going on pelters and. Well, I don't know how many was there that night, 85, 90, the place was chock-a-block.
I think they're saying there was 80,000 paid then, but there might have been another 80,000 skipped in.
Well, it certainly sounded more than that.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere was electric. That was a tremendous performance by us. And the problem was, we're going to meet a team that nobody knows anything about, apart from maybe the manager. They had them looked at, but we didn't know because they played all Eastern European teams.
Right.
They didn't play nothing like the class we played.
Aye, to get to the final.
You still got to have the same, get the same attitude going,
Just going back to the semi-final, what did you think when, again, your remate, Andrew Wiggins, sat in the bar?
I say he was tired. Mr. Waddle pulled him up. We had to go up to the office to explain himself to him.
Oh dear, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Anybody that's not seen that, it's on YouTube. Any younger bears that's not seen that, just go and have a look. In fact, if you've got anyone off the whole game's there, watch it. It's German commentary right enough, but the whole game's there.
Well, it was a big upset for Bayern, wasn't it? Big upset. But there we are. That's what we were capable in our best form.
So you've done that. I mean, it wasn't in the league. That wasn't our greatest season, but people will argue that was our greatest achievement. So you go to that final. You're in Barcelona. There's bears coming from everywhere.
Well, we were outside. We stayed outside Barcelona. Wee hotel and that, and so it was very, very quiet, which big joke and what I wanted, the build up to the game. We got in the bus and then we approached Barcelona, the stadium, and Christ, they started banging in the bus and it was unbelievable. And I says, well, we're here now, aren't we? Just everything was quiet and bang, bang, bang.
And people have also got to realise it wasn't as easy to get places then, was it? It was planes, trains, automobiles, wasn't it?
Oh, aye. Well, every time I go to a Rangers thing, they're getting less and less. I always ask them how they go to Barcelona, and, obviously some with car, some with aeroplane, and various different journeys. And, well, now, of course, it would be worse going to Seville. I think there'd be 25 different ways to Seville. But then, back in the 70s, I like talking to the older guys about how they got there and what experience was it for them.
I think sometimes it was all right getting there, it was getting back was this stuff.
Oh, I think there are a few of them still there. So,
your memory of that game, what we're going to do is we're going to let you hear the commentary, your goal, Colin. Yeah, see if we can just to take you down memory lane. So let's hear for the goal in Barcelona.
Okay.
Towards Colin, Stein. Here's Stein, it's a goal! It's a goal by Stein, what a goal! What a goal by Stein! Here it comes, what a goal by Stein, he followed that up, and whoosh, in it goes. Pandemonium, bedlam, rolled up together, let loose, and even Rangers supporters around us, behind us, going absolutely berserk.
Dave Smith had crossed the ball.
Great memories, that, eh? Archie McPherson got a wee bit excited there, didn't you know?
I nearly showed his true colours, eh?
Well, that was another time. Sandy obviously was involved again. Sandy won a tackle on the halfway line, and Sandy didn't win many tackles.
Right.
And they gave it to Davy Smith to do it through, and I just ran up with the centre half, just can hit it, eh? And it went right in the top corner, eh?
Aye.
So it was
New camp,
me.
special place, eh? Special place.
Oh, aye, certainly is.
Aye.
And
So
the support we had as well, brilliant.
Aye. Magnificent.
Yeah.
So we've got the other two goals. We again, your wee mate who scored two different kind of goals that night. Yeah?
Oh, aye.
The Big Peter, did he claim an assist for the third?
I always kid Bud on that team about 4 defenders away. You run out and kid them on. Well, Big Peter was Big Joke was a great admirer. Big Peter, who's obviously Big Joke was a goalkeeper as well.
Right.
And you know, he used to launch them, you know, up in the air. That was all. But the first goal was a great goal. Davy Smith cut back in his left peg and Bud, you know, only 5 feet whatever up and headed the ball in. But the second goal, Peter launched it. But the guys ran to me, but it looked as if it was offside on the television. But it was way like Bud he ran in the back of them,
right.
So it wasn't offside, and he just hit it with his left foot and scored. Put us 3-0 up.
3-0 up. Dreamland.
Oh, unbelievable! Aye.
Dreamland. What's your memories of the whole game? What's your memories of the build up, the event, or yeah?
Well, the build up was great, eh? Training and that. Big Joke was always good at training.
Right.
You know, to get you fit and that, and he just got you ready. Unfortunately, on the way there, Ronnie McKinnon, you know, broke a leg, and Colin Jackson wasn't fit. He went over on his ankle. He probably would have played in the final.
Right.
So that was, you know, a bit an upset. But everything went well. And, you know, we're really fit and ready for the game. The only thing was we had strips, we had long sleeves, crew necks. It was over 30 degrees, you know, and the Russians had short sleeves. And so, what is this, eh? But anyway, we just rolled our sleeves up and got on with it.
Go, literally. Yeah. A young Derek Johnston at centre half.
That's right, aye. I don't know how many times he had played with Davy Smith, to tell you the truth, before that game. I don't think he played many, but I think it was a good match because Derek would attack the ball, you know, balls coming, and Davy would just get feed the crumbs. Davy wasn't great in there, but once he got the ball, you know, he could pass it. And in fact, he maybe passed it too much in his own box. You know, they're all telling him, get it away up the park, but, you know, he usually found one of his teammates.
Aye. What an achievement. And listen, on behalf of a lot of our listeners and everybody in the Rangers family, we can't thank you nor the Barcelona players enough, because you gave us that time in our history, and you gave us that European trophy, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
It's fantastic. Great memories. I mean, we've played a lot of good teams, and, you know, we come through in the final, which was great. And, the crowd there, I think there's only about 4 Russians here. I think they were on the dugout. You know, it was nothing but supporters. That's absolutely tremendous. The only thing I would say regretful is, you know, we didn't get presented with the cup at the end of the game out in the park, you know, celebrating. And you know, my wife watched it, and she, if they left them, well, there's hundreds or maybe thousands. If they left them alone, it maybe would have been all right, but they decided to win and buttons and all that. So that was that. That's only, you know, the regret.
I know to get the trophy, yeah, lap on and
well, it got better. We went back to Glasgow, and it was raining, and we went round the Ibrox had a track there, and we went round a coal lorry. So it was a wee bit different from getting presented on the park, wasn't it? But then again, there's 30,000 folk there, eh?
Aye,
Which is
a lot
fantastic.
of people, and people lined for the airport.
That's right, aye.
Street.
That's the airport, aye.
There's a classic interview with Arthur Munford asking what it was like to score the 2 goals, eh?
Well, he was speaking to John Gregg. I was sitting with, I think it's Willie Matheson, and he speak to John Gregg, and he turned around to me, he says, Colin, he says, which one of your goals was a better goal? I said, only scored one, Arthur. They must have upped it, didn't it?
Did you realise at a time how big an achievement that was, Colin?
Oh, well, after 67, I think, Dr. Willie Johnson, Sandy, Willie Martin, and Greggy, they're desperate to, you get a result, for the supporters. Fortunately, they played a German team in Germany, and I think, before the game they played Derek, and they got rid of Jim Forrest and George McLean, and that might have made the difference in 67. They played Roger Hind at centre, who, he wasn't a centre forward. I don't know how that come about, but I think they could have actually won that game. But and again, it was against Bayern, wasn't it?
Right, aye, Bayern Munich in Nuremberg, yeah.
Yeah.
In Nuremberg, yeah. Aye. And I think the difference there, and people would maybe find this hard to believe, some of the younger players, but I think maybe sometimes the majority of the country would want you to win then, not just the Bahrain supporters, because it was Europe. Eh?
Oh, I think so, aye. I mean, well, as I said earlier on, Rangers and Celtic were in semi-finals and whatever, when I played back in the 60s and 70s, every year. Well, it's hard to get past Christmas, isn't it?
Well, Europe's no for everybody.
Well, some of us are, but some of us aren't.
It's not for everybody, Europe, No, as Boydie would say. Right, so you've maybe hit the pinnacle of your Rangers career. You've won a European trophy, and then quite quickly you've moved. Yeah, you've moved to Coventry, to English football.
I was sent to Coventry for 2.5 years.
Right.
Well, if you ask me how they wanted me to go, you need to ask Mr. Waddle and Mr. Wallace that, but they're I say no longer. But in saying that, Derek Parley and Derek Johnson were coming through then, and a really good combination. Even though Parley played midfield against Bayern, so that's maybe the reason. And I went, Wally Johnson went, and Alfie Conn went, in the same year.
Aye. And what was when you went to Coventry, obviously English First Division, maybe slightly more competitive because there's more bigger teams and such, but was it a step up or a step down playing in that league every week, or did you just see it the same?
It was harder down there, because I usually wait how the phone's going.
Oh. That'll be Arthur Montford.
Anyway, it was hard doing at Coventry. We're a right good team. We had Tommy Hutchison, who obviously played with Scotland. Willie Carr played with Scotland. A few Scotsmen, Roy Barry and that. So we did a really good time doing it at Coventry. And I quite enjoyed it down there. But it was very, very competitive. Aye.
Was it as pressurised as playing for the Rangers?
Oh, no, pressurised. Nah, I don't think so, no.
No. And you came back up the road 2.5 years, something. Yeah.
Aye.
And how did that come about? What was it? Quick?
Well, I don't know. Apparently, it was money involved. Coventry were still low Rangers. I don't know the ins and outs. But anyway, I come back up. 75 it would be, wouldn't it?
75, and you done no bad against the Hibs at the end of that season. We're just going to let you hear another wee clip. Take you back down memory lane. Yeah. Let's hear another famous goal you scored.
McLean chipping it forward, headed down by Stanton. Rangers trying to keep the pressure on. McLean out to Jordan. Cool play by Jordan. A good pass forward to McKean. McKean going on the outside, getting it across. Chance for Stein and a goal!
Stein scored the winning goal, so he was a hero. Harley, I mean, we did all the spade work for the whole season. He comes in and scores the goal. But the big thing was we won it.
Is that Jordan?
I was Jordan, aye. What a goal, what a move. Any young bears that's not seen that again, find it on YouTube. The game, the skill by Sandy Jordan.
That's right, that was Sandy that made it again, eh?
Aye, and then the went out to Bobby McKean across. Yeah. And you still had a bit of work today, yeah? That's
right, aye. It was quite a bit, it just hit my head and that was it, and it went, in like a bullet, didn't it?
Aye. And once again, there was quite a few bears in that stadium that day, weren't there?
Unbelievable, aye. It was heaving. I don't know how many was there, but Cecil Road was quite a big part then, eh?
Aye, big high terrace in that.
Big, that's right, aye. I think there must have been 60,000 there or something like that. 50,000 maybe, I reckon.
I'll check it out for you and let you know exactly, but that's only the Pinecrest numbers, remember?
Aye, that's right, aye. I never seen many Hibs supporters there anyway.
Aye, so that was a big day for Rangers history,
Oh, well, that's
Sandy's
10 in a row, didn't it?
Aye, but Sandy's giving you a bit of stick. You
see, they did all the hard work and I do it the glory, eh?
Aye, but also he's not telling you, he's also mentioning that he missed the penalty.
That's right, aye, wouldn't tell you that. Well, that's the time when Sandy went off and Greggy come on. Greggy wasn't fit. But what I wanted him to come on, to receive the captain of the club, eh?
Right. Aye. So you've come back in that season, wrapped up with it, but I think it was a few games to go.
Oh, aye. We're going to win it anyway, but it's nice to get a goal that's involved that does win it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially Easter Road as well, so.
You're still scoring goals, Colin, regular. You come back up the road, you were scoring goals. You had a wee red card in there and all against Dundee.
Dundee, I remember that, Farlane, I think, scored the winner.
Aye. What a run, and that team, obviously it changed for the team that you'd been playing with in the early 70s, eh?
Oh, aye. Well, wee Tam was still there, and Alec McDonald was still there, but the rest of them, and Greggy, obviously.
He'd come into that team, and obviously, I think Stuart Kennedy played the most of the games that season in goal.
That's right, aye. Well, Stuart, Stuart was playing then, Peter, wasn't he?
So you're moving on with your Rangers career, and then we go to 76, and with the European time, I remember people saying at the time it was a disaster. We get knocked out with a team called Cincinnati, and it turned out to be no bad side, eh?
They're a good team. Well, I was sort of playing behind the striker there. And we were over in St Etienne, Big Peter was in goals. And, the kick about before the game.
Aye.
A ball come across to me. I always remember hitting my left foot, and Peter went down to save it, and I broke his wrist.
Right.
And Stuart Kennedy come into the team. So that was St Etienne, and they're the right good team, didn't they? They not get beat in the final.
They were unlucky to get beat by Bayern Munich in the final, eh?
That's right, But St Etienne weren't heard of then, were they?
No.
They weren't a name then.
No. We lost. They beat us 2-0 over there.
That's right.
Aye. Stuart Kennedy came in, and then obviously 2-1 at Ibrox, and people thought we would turn them out at Ibrox. That's how confident they were then. The champions of France, and it was. People thought, we should have done better, but they turned out to be a smashing side all the way to
aye, they were. But French football wasn't particularly, not at the forefront like it is now.
No.
I don't like it.
No. So, your Rangers career's coming to an end. You're still playing football, but you had a fantastic career Championship winning goals, European final goals, all firm goals, international goals. You done it all, Colin.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant, Well, 4 goals against Cyprus. I don't think anybody's beat that, have they?
No, I think that boy Fletcher equalled it, didn't he?
No, he got 3.
Did he?
I've been through this before,
Aye, you get him 3.
Just you check it for me and let me know.
I will. I'll check it for you. But that stat, I don't know if anybody else has done that. The 4 home nation, the 4 British Isles team.
Yeah.
You
know?
Well,
I know Derek Johnson scored. Was it 2 or 3? I think he didn't play against Beera then, wasn't it? Southern Ireland. Well, it was quite an achievement, a brilliant achievement, as I say. You always want to play for your country.
Who was the guys that stood out for you your whole career? Firstly, the guys you played for, and then the guys you played against. Who when you look back?
What are you talking about, Scotsman or MD?
Anybody. The guys you played with, who stood out?
Well,
who was it?
Playing with Jim Blackstone. Well, wingers as well. Willie Henderson, Willie Johnson, and John Gregg, Ronnie McCann. A lot of great players. All played with Scotland. Dennis Law, played with Dennis Law. Ken Dalglish, I played with him latterly. So I've played with a lot of tremendous players.
And what about opponents?
Well, but you have to say Beckenbauer, But when I played with the Hibs, Ronnie McKinnon was a hard player to play against. He was fast, direct, and everything.
Right.
But Beckenbauer was, he was world class. Probably one of the best players that has ever played.
Aye, he'd be up there. He would get, I think, World 11, he would be close to any team.
So I changed jerseys with him in Hamburg when we played him in the World Cup, so I've got his jersey up in the loft. So I've got good memories of Beckenbauer.
When you look at Scottish football now, Colin, does it upset you?
No, it doesn't upset me, no.
No.
I would love to have played in pitches like that, though.
Would you?
Play on now, absolutely tremendous, isn't it?
Well, you always like the bowling, Dina.
Aye. You better ask Kelly that, anyway. Well, he's not fit to play, no. I don't know, it's great memories for me. And to be remembered after over 50 years, I do the hospitality at Ibrox, and, the respect we get for the young guys who've never seen us play is absolutely tremendous. So, it's great.
Do you know how much you mean to so many people? Do you realise that?
Well, I see a lot of Collins going about named after me, so I must have made somebody happy,
You made a lot of people happy. And you got a book coming out, I hear in whispers.
I don't think so, no.
No?
Yeah.
Maybe you should. I'm going to bring... maybe you should. I'm going to bring in one of our other guys. He's known as Bridgeman, and he's let's just say he's similar ages to yourself, Colin.
All right, so he'll mind me.
And when we talk about people and moments in his life, I'll let him explain. Evening, Bridge.
Right.
Oh, good evening, Colin, Stein.
God,
you're my hero. You were my hero when I was a youngster. I'm 3 months older than you, pal. 3 months.
Right.
But you, goodness sake, in my sort of midlife, my 20s, my God Almighty, you were like a tornado and hit my life. I'll tell you. What a dream! What a dream I was in. I was in a stupor. My wife couldn't get me down off the ceiling. It was wonderful. He gave me so many memories, so many great memories. And I went over to, and Mum, thank you. I went over to South Africa to work, and I met this lovely couple, and she was from Bo'ness, right? And
Bo'ness,
her mother lived in what was the name of the football team you went to? Up there. Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I went up to visit them when they come home, because her and her man, I was very, very friendly with him, and he told me that he was your bowling partner.
Right.
Bowls. over there. And I don't know whether you were doing it Boness playing or played somewhere else. But
I've been doing Boness playing quite a bit. Aye.
His name was Liam Richardson. Liam was it?
Liam Richardson. Aye, that's right. Aye.
He was a wonderful guy, lovely guy. Really.
That's right. Aye. Well, aye. He beat me in the final of the championship. Well, let's go.
He kept that quiet. He didn't want me to know because I'd say something to him. You were my hero. I tell you what, my wife's outside the door listening and laughing. I just loved you. And I still do, of course. But I just loved you. And some of the things that happened to Rangers when you were there was just out of this world. Just totally out of this world. And can only be repeated every now and again. And I don't know if I've met anybody as a Rangers person anyway. I keep being told I'm going to meet you each time I go to Ibrox. And one of the times I was with Jim Hanna, but ended up meeting wee Bud. You were busy somewhere else. But lovely. Absolutely lovely. Thank you for the best times in my life. Yeah, you and Jim Baxter together.
Thanks very much, and hopefully I'll maybe meet you at Ibrox one day.
I'll look forward to that. I'll tell you. I look forward to that.
Thanks.
We had to bring him in, Colin, because when he's told this story once, he's told it a million times on here. He says that the greatest moment in his Rangers supporting career was the night he signed for the Rangers.
Wow. 31st of October, 19.
That's it. That's right.
The guy got the news came on, and because I never knew anything about it, and it came out, and I was jumping up and down. My wife says, "What you going to bar into that light or something?" Oh my goodness! Yes, Oxchair's right there. That's what I was like, and that's what I'm still like when we talk about some of the fabulous players of my youth. You know, I was, I'm the same age as yourself, so you can understand what it was like then. You know, wild life, and thank you for everything.
Pleasure.
But you weren't just competitive on the football pitch, Colin. No bad at the golf and the bowls.
I was all right at golf. I played a lot of golf. Then I started playing bowls.
Right.
Did well. Won 6 championships. So I passed myself by date now. I'm playing with the Algians now.
But at least you never. Do you never fail the fitness test for bowls?
No, never. No, I could still run up the green. No, like Mr. Kelly.
Right, he failed the test. Sober as well. Sober,
aye.
That makes it worse. Listen, Colin, I hope you enjoyed that wee walk down memory lane.
Oh, tremendous, yeah. It's always great to, get memories and that and talk about it. And have play for a great team like Rangers and, the support and that's fantastic. Fantastic.
But never forget how much you mean to so many people, mate.
Oh, well, you don't realise it till you start speaking to people and that. It's brilliant. Brilliant.
Even the young boys that had never seen you play.
That's right. The respect we get for them is, is brilliant. There's no other word for it. It's great, really. Well, they'll introduce you in that and they'll say, "Oh, I've never seen you playing," but someone will say, "My father says you were a great player," but someone will say, "My grandfather says you were a great player." So, you're getting older. Oh, brilliant! The supporters have been absolutely tremendous to me. I'm just back to Bangkok and Dubai, and the way they treat you there is absolutely tremendous.
But listen, it's a worldwide fan base, and you, every bit of you earned it, Colin. You don't get it for nothing. You earned it for
Well, I hope so.
Aye, and that one kicking the ball in Barcelona, that one header at Easter Road, you'll never be forgotten. Never.
Well, that's true. Well, that's what I keep saying to Bud. I say that's the best goals we've ever scored in our life, and it's true, isn't it? I remember forevermore.
Aye. That's true. And look at the places he's going to: Bangkok, Dubai. And look at the friends you've made, you know, bud.
Oh, unbelievable, aye.
Aye.
Great. You know, the even, as I say, the younger ones as well. But let's hope they get some success soon, eh?
Aye. What do you think of the Rangers team at the moment, Colin?
Well, I think they play good football, but they've got to take their chances. I mean, they get too many. They miss too many chances, and that'll come back and haunt you.
Aye, got to score goals.
If you get chances, well, there's Daniel out for, I don't know. He looked a good player, but now he's injured.
Aye,
so that's another one away. But
aye, he would.
You've got to start scoring goals.
You'd have fancied yourself to take a couple of chances.
Definitely.
Even now.
Well, definitely. That Jammer, whatever his name is, I don't know. Anyway, they might get better, they might improve, but certainly the chances they make, they've got to score more goals.
Aye, that
definitely.
Will do that for a while. Listen, Colin Stein, an absolute pleasure talking to you, an absolute pleasure meeting you, and I'll not tell her a story when you and Bud beat me in the box, yeah?
Yeah.
And obviously with a mutual friend, Wally Blackett, who's no longer with us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was a great guy as well.
He tells a story about one night you were in. He told us a story one night you were in his house, and he turned down the use for kicking the ball about his garden and his dog. He couldn't believe it. He took guys.
That's right. I didn't. Like, was it Greenock or somewhere that way anyway? He was good. He was Jim Hanna's pal.
That's right.
Yeah.
A good friend of your show and a good friend of myself and Foxy's. You know, an absolute star.
Right. Brilliant.
Top man. Listen, Colin, thanks very much. Loved every minute of it.
No problem.
All right, and hope to see you soon. And enjoy all your time at Ibrox because you deserve it.
Thank you. Tell Kelly look after himself.
We're trying to get him a carer. We're trying to get him a carer for the balls, you know.
Anyway, thanks very much. It's a pleasure coming on.
Cheers, Colin.
Absolute pleasure for all of us, I can tell you. Absolute pleasure.
Okay.
Cheers, Colin.
Night then. Bye-bye. Bye.
What a man.
We went to Barcelona, the Rangers want to see. And when we reached the stadium, our hearts filled up with glee. There were so many Scotsmen all ready for the fray. You should have heard old Derry's waltz when the Rangers won the day. Oh, Barcelona, oh, don't you cry for me. For the Dynamo, they scored 2 goals, but the Rangers, they scored 3. When inside the stadium, the likes I'd never seen. All around the terraces, they sang of Colin Stein, the best centre-forward that's in the world today. And when he scored his wonder goal, the cheers were on their way. Oh, Barcelona, oh, don't you cry for me. For the Dynamo, they scored 2 goals, but the Rangers, they scored 3. The flags and scarves were flying high when Wally Johnston scored. And when he scored the second goal, the Ibrox fans they roared. John Clegg, the captain, went up to win the prize. The European Cup Winners' Cup was right before our eyes. Oh, Barcelona, oh, don't you cry for me. For the Dynamo, they scored 2 goals, but the Rangers, they scored 3. 100,000 Rangers fans thronged the Glasgow streets, and inside old Ibrox Park you couldn't get a seat. The Glasgow Rangers had won their famous day. The year was 1972 in the merry month of May. Oh, Barcelona, oh, the Rangers they scored 3.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, we're all back, and John, myself, Oxford back in the show. We've got the one and only Southside. We're athlete, Mr. AK. And of course, the legend that is the Bridge. Evening, gents. Evening, Southside.
Aye, evening, Ox. Evening, the other two gentlemen. Aye, great listening to a legend again. Come on to our show, Ox, you know. Great interview you done. It was great listening to him. And to hear Bridgeman drilling. Even better, you know.
What a player he was. What a player.
But fantastic, mate. Absolutely fantastic.
Bridgeman's all made up, isn't you, Bridge? I can see you cleaning for here.
My wife's just when I come in and shut the door. I'll maybe see you in the morning.
And Mr. AK, yeah, you got a bit of stick there, mate.
I've known Colin since I was a boy. I don't mind that. It was a great interview you done with him there. It was interesting hearing about his career and talking about how he felt at the time. But Colin's a top man, and I appreciate him coming on there for the listeners and yourself.
And thanks, mate. Thanks for helping us organise that.
No problem.
I'll let you come in, Bridge. You're the man. Yeah.
Well, you know, as you know, played football most of my life. It was wonderful to go to Ibrox. If you can get away, get a break in your season, and get a game in. And I went. It was wonderful to watch that guy Stein playing his game. He seemed to win every header, flicking the ball on, these kind of things. And he scored for just the whole team were just magic when he was playing, just magic. And his wee pal Bud, they were like a pair of lunatics in their pitch. They did crazy things, scored some fantastic goals. That's what I remember. I think of Colin Stein a lot. When I was over in South Africa and I bumped into this guy, an Englishman, and we're chatting away, and he says, my wife's Scottish, so on and so forth. And he says, I mentioned Colin Stein, because he says to me something about Rangers. And I says, Colin Stein's my big favourite. And he says, he was my partner to the balls where he could knock me down with a bloody feather, you know. So,
small world, isn't it?
It's wonderful. Thanks for letting me on.
We've no choice. I don't think wild horses would have kept you away.
No. I'm waiting too. That was great.
Southside, when we use the word legends, you know, and quite a lot in modern football. I mean, that guy's done it all, eh?
Aye, especially when you come in to play for Rangers. And I always say probably the two hardest positions is centre forward and goalkeeper. I think when you come into a new club and he comes in and bangs in 8 goals, you know, in a short space of time, and hat-trick and that, you know, and got off to a flying start, and obviously just continued it. And obviously in the league and that we weren't so great, but in the cup and playing against players, like you said, in the semi-final, you were playing against the Germans who had 8 or 9 players playing for them that day, and obviously Franz Beckenbauer, you're up against him.
Muller,
Gerd Muller, and then Meyer, the goalkeeper, Breitner. You know, it's a star-studded lineup, you know. And they play in that environment. Obviously, Ibrox, as I said, it was rocking that night as well. You know, so, no, it's a fantastic achievement for what he done in his career through when he started at Hibs and just took it to another level, going on to play for Rangers.
I think I thought I knew a lot, AK, but every day's a school day. I didn't realise that about the 4 British Isles clubs in the one calendar year. It's remarkable because they all wouldn't play each other that often. I don't know if that's been done.
No, you're right. Probably hasn't it. In fact, one of the times talking to his son Martin, he actually disclosed that, and you know, he felt it was a kind of personal record at the time, but it might actually be a record then throughout. There are no many has had that feat, but Colin's been inducted into the Hall of Fame, both for the SFA and Rangers. Even that feat alone, I think he's very, very proud of the achievements too.
And obviously, he played with other teams, but you can hear the passion for our club, Southside there.
Aye, 100%. You can hear it. He sounded as if he was proud to go in and play for the club, showed heart and desire, like he says, when he was on the park. And was surrounded probably with the same like-minded players at that time in that era at the club box. Football's moved on now. We don't see that as much. But like you said, it was mostly Scots players and probably Rangers supporters, when the vast majority of them that were in the club at the time.
I mean, we played the last 2 league games. Is that 2 league games? All the league games since we come back, we've not played a Scotsman, mate. Only John Suter played against Aris. That's it.
Aye, you wouldn't have thought that. Obviously, Ryan Jack being out injured probably would have been a starter. If his form had been all right, but aye, no, it's the way it's changing at the moment, Ox. The way the team's evolved, and it's like you say, if we're not starting with a Scotsman on the park, it's changed days for a wee bit of time at the moment.
Aye, I've been joined by old Davy. Evening, Davy. Thought you might be on the night.
Yeah, that was something else, by the way. That was phenomenal. What an interview that was, and you were outstanding, Ox. You obviously done your research there, and take my hat off to you.
Oh, that's good. Davy's gone. I'm sure he'll be back with us. Might be a technical issue, aye. I know Davy was in Barcelona, yeah. But we've got a lot to get through tonight because there's a lot happened in the Rangers world today, okay?
I got a few pressures to talk about, and obviously the run up to tomorrow's game. So I thought Bridgman had passed old Davy that straw there.
Hey, I can hear you now. Shut
up. On you go, Davy. The floor's yours. Quickly.
Aye, no. It was just a fantastic interview. It was as Bridgman says, it was a trip down. Whatever he was talking about, I was just saying I was there, I've been there, I've seen that, I know that, I was at that. And it was just fantastic memories. Very, very modest guy for what he's achieved. He doesn't just throw it out and go, damn, big-headed Stein.
Davy's not paid his bill, he keeps dramming out. Right, I want to get some housekeeping in. We've got a few things to go on. It's Friday night. And before we go any further, everybody will be waiting patiently. Let's hear Southside's Super 6.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for Saturday the 9th of December. My first selection this weekend is Wolves to beat Nottingham Forest. My second selection is Mansfield to beat MK Dons. The third selection is Wrexham to beat Forest Green away from home. My fourth selection is Swansea to beat Rotherham away from home. The fifth selection is Swindon to beat Wimbledon away from home. And the sixth selection is Brighton to beat Burnley. If you take all six, it pays 66.5 to 1.
Big odds for you, big odds.
There's a few away from home in there, so need to hope that they bang in. After last week, Birmingham, they're after the list now, and they'll not be put on a coupon to the end of the season. I don't care if they change their form, whatever, they ain't getting picked again.
There can't be many teams left in his list.
Even gave St Mirren a flu epidemic to cost them one and all.
Oh dear, 60-61. That'll do you. That'll do you. Yeah.
Aye. Just make sure you get it on.
Aye.
I suppose the last man standing and all. Probably, I hope everybody getting back into that as well.
Here. Right.
Who's your team? Who's your team this week, by the way, just so we know?
Oh, right. I've not done it yet, mate. I'll just tell you now. I'll put it out there. If you give me a couple of minutes, I'll put it out there. Yeah? All right. So you know. Don't want you to get upset when I win it again.
Nah, it ain't happening this time.
Just for the record, there's only been one winner. Is Davey back? No, he's not. Hopefully Davey.
I love it.
Aye, a special night for Rangers Radio, Colin Stein. Aye. Southside guys like that, I don't know if they realise what they're worth, how much they're adored by so many people.
Aye, I've seen Colin a couple of times in the hospitality when I've been up. Wee Bud's been in, Alec McDonald. Still make appearances round about the supporters, and it's good to see them when they appear. Wally Henderson's another one. Met him a few times and they come in. They're always chirpy and you can ask them questions and they're always willing to talk away to you, which is different sometimes for the players nowadays, you know. But no, it's great, and as I said, he's a legend. He's a European winner, and him and Wee Bud certainly done the business that night to make him become legends, mate, of the club.
Legends. Aye, I kind of put it nice myself. Right. Okay, we need to move on with the business. Right, we've got a game tomorrow. And we're going to hear from your manager and then we'll get your comments on we can't catch a break. So get yourselves on mute and we're going to hear from our manager, Philip Clement.
Good afternoon. How's your squad looking?
The guys who are fit, they look good.
Okay. Anyone not fit from Wednesday night? Tom Lawrence, how's he doing?
Tom will be out for sure until winter break, and Danilo will be out also for sure that time. So that's not so good news.
Both of them for the winter break?
No, maybe after also, but we will not get them before the winter break into the games.
What's Danilo's issue?
Problem with his knee because of a bad tackle in the game.
Okay. Does that require surgery? Will it require surgery?
The chance is big he requires surgery, yeah.
So that could be long term, you're talking months?
Yes, indeed.
How big a blow is that for you given how?
No, I want to be, okay, I give my information now about injured players, and I want to focus now on the fit players, because I've been talking enough about injured players last couple of weeks. It's a big blow for the players because they were really motivated, they were ready for the story, they were performing well. And it's now to focus on the guys who are fit because we have really important games to come.
So just finally on this, you said it was specifically in relation to a tackle.
It's not important anymore. I just said I'm going to speak now about the fit players. I give all the information about the injured players.
How happy are you with the way the team's playing?
I'm happy in different ways. If I see how they were 8 weeks ago, not too much a team on the pitch. What I saw in moments in games and the way they took good results, and we could have even had more results than we had. With good creating every game a lot of chances, good goals. Several clean sheets in the league also, I think 5 out of 7 games or something. So the team is taking good steps also with players being out and in, everybody understanding the story and what to do in his position. It's also a lot of work, and a lot of work for the players also to understand everything. So I think in that way the team is on a really good way to improve and to become better, because the squad about understanding the story becomes bigger. In injury, it doesn't become bigger. So that's another story.
With Danilo out, how much does that open the door, obviously, for others to step forward, like Kimar or Cyril?
It's about them to show that they're ready. It's like it's for every player. But we know, of course, that Kemar comes out of an injury also, and out of history also of a lot of consecutive injuries. So we need to take that in account. It's of no use just to throw him on the pitch and that he's out also.
With Danilo's situation, will this make you consider bringing in a striker in the January window?
Yes.
Would that be a priority now?
It will be one of the priorities, yes.
Can I ask you about Ryan Jack and Scott Wright? Are they back?
They're not back yet.
Given so many games in such a short space of time, what do you do with the players in between the games? What can you do with them?
We have a lot of drinks here and we eat together.
No training.
What we do with them, it's the day after the game, it's recovery for the guys who played. They also use the cryo chamber, they get treatment, they get massage, they do cycling, they do their exercises. We try to give them also extra exercises to become stronger in muscles they used less in the game. And the day after, it's one tactical training. And they go home and they have rest and they are ready for the next game because it's every time, it's only 2 days in between.
Can I ask you about Robbie McCrory? What plans you've got to use him?
I will use him at the right moment. I'm happy with him, what I'm seeing training, but I don't think it's a good way to switch goalkeeper all the time. But there will come a moment that he can get game time, yes.
Has he came and spoke to you about his future? No? Because I guess he may think there's a chance to get in the Scotland squad for the Euros.
Can be, yes. It's a good goalkeeper, so I think he has the quality to be in the Scotland squad, yeah.
Philippe, can I ask about talk with Danilo D'Alessima? You spoke about him after the game on Wednesday, 3 goals in 2 games. How important is it that while we have these injuries up front, you have Abdallah continue to score goals, especially from that left-hand side?
No, I don't think that way. I don't want to put all the pressure on Abda to score goals. I expect it from other positions also, and for me it's not important if it's the attacking players or the midfielders or the defenders who score the goals. Because we come also with midfielders in good positions. Or with central defenders, with the set pieces, we've been out threat also last couple of weeks, and we've been a few times really unlucky by hitting the crossbar, for example. So, no, I expect all the team to take responsibility in our attacks, and I expect all the team to take responsibility in our defending also.
Is Abdallah someone who you think could play through the middle for you at points, or is that role on the left kind of suiting him at the moment as the goals over the last week maybe show?
I cannot say honestly about that because I didn't have the chance to put him as a central striker in training, for example, because we didn't have enough wingers for the moment to take him out of that position.
Sorry, apologies. Is Sima the kind of player that the likes of Dessers and Lammers can look to maybe to inspire them? Because he seems to have hit the ground running and he's scored 12 goals now for.
No, I don't want to speak about other players, and for sure not if you take 2 players out of a squad of 28 to say that they need to take an example about somebody. Everybody is different. Everybody has his own qualities, and it's about the players showing that they are ready for a club like Rangers with all the attention and the expectations and the quality needed. That's an individual thing.
Is Kemar Roof okay after he came on against Hearts? Because he looked to kind of give you something a little bit different when he came on, didn't he?
He's good in the way that he can take certain minutes, but he's not good to play 90 minutes. He's not ready for that.
Can I just ask you to confirm the Danilo tackle? Can you tell us when it was?
No, it was an unlucky situation, and it's part of football. I didn't say it was a bad tackle or somebody should have had a red card. It was a tackle, and because of the contact, he had a problem with his knee afterwards.
You must feel for Tom, given that he's come back from his injuries and now he's been hit again.
No, but I think I was really clear 5 minutes ago. We're going to speak about football now, because I don't want to become a doctor. I feel sometimes like that the last weeks with the press conferences. I want to stay a manager and speak about football.
Is there a feeling that this is almost a kind of defining week for Rangers? Obviously, you've got the game against Dundee and a European game and then the cup final as well.
No, of course it's a decisive game. No, it's a decisive game in one competition, in this League Cup. In the other competition, it will define in what competition we go further, and that's already an important thing, that you play in Europe next season. And of course we want to play in the Europa League, but I know like a really good manager who put a tattoo on his arm when he won the Conference League, so don't throw away Conference League. But of course we're going to go to Betis to try to win and to get the first place in the group also. And in the other competitions, it stays a marathon until the end of the season, and there is also the Scottish Cup in January. So saying that this week will define the season of Rangers, it's totally not true. There are for sure 3 competitions after this week that we still will complete.
Last one, Adam.
I feel like you've played Hearts 3 times already in your tenure, so I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to watch them. You've got a player out on loan there just now, Alex Lowry. What have you made of his impact at Tynecastle so far this season?
I didn't see him against us, of course, because it's also logical that these things are the way they are. And it's a young player with a lot of good offensive qualities. I think it was the right decision, if you see the squad, to let him go on loan, also to learn a different part of football. And that's the part without ball, and he's taking steps in that, and I think he's in a really good environment there, with a good manager also, to help him in that way to become a stronger player for the future.
One of his teammates, Lauren Shanklin, we saw you speaking to him after the game midweek. I know that you'll know him from your time in Belgium. Is that a player that you like, and perhaps one you could try and persuade to come here in the future?
That's a good question. You guys have written a lot about that already. I'm never going to speak about players that we are or interested or not interested in. And I didn't, because I hear that some people really watch me a lot. I knew it already in the city because I go one time in a restaurant and it's also all over. So it's a little bit special in that way. So I need to think really good in the future what I do every second of the day. I don't want to come in the same situation as a German national coach, that I take something out of my nose or something. So clearly I need to watch out really hard what I've been doing here. But no, I greeted all the players of Hearts that I met along the way. Was nothing really special there.
So you're loving life in Glasgow then?
Yeah, it's special in that way. I said it to James and Craig here already in the building. Maybe I need to walk around with a wig or something the next time. But maybe that would be even funnier for everybody.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Southside, NAK, we can't catch a break, can we?
No, not at all. I like the way he handles the media. But aye, the jinx is struck again for Tom Lawrence and now Danilo. No good news at all, is it? But we'll just have to go on, mate. The players will need to step up, whatever formation or whatever team he picks going forward, to keep scoring goals. But no, it's no good. And it sounds like he's going to look to strengthen in the centre forward area in the January transfer window, maybe.
Anybody on your radar before I go to AK?
Listen, I don't know. If you're talking about Scotland, I think the boat sailed with Shankland. I think they probably want a wee bit too much money. Depends how much you think too much.
28, you reckon?
He's 28, aye. We'll put it this way, see if some of the chances at Tynecastle had fell to him in the positions that Danilo was in, and possibly Sima even, when the roof squared it would probably been in the back of the net, you know. He's a goal scorer, money-wise. Don't know if he could maybe pitch Lowry in with a deal if they were keen on that, or if that was a possibility. But I think if you were trying to buy him in January with 18 months left in his contract, he's their captain and that. You could try for about £2 million, but I don't think they'd want more than that. But £2 million for Shankland, if we could get him and give him a 3-year contract or something, he would certainly score goals for us. Definitely score goals.
Okay. AK, we can't catch a break.
No, unfortunately, that was a bit of a shocker when we heard that Danilo was out as well. We're barring up front as it is, you know. Obviously, Dessers hasn't had a great start to his career. Roof is made of glass and he's unavailable. I know he came on the other night, but he's not reliable for making himself available. And it just underlines the stupid piece of business that Beale done at the start of the season, getting rid of Cholak and Sakala. And that has really left his light up there. But he'll need to shuffle the pack. I mean, who's to say that he might have to move Seaman there? We've got the option of Matondo there, or whether he goes back to Dessers. I know Dessers started last week against St Mirren. He didn't score, but he helped to create the first goal. So we'll just need to shuffle the pack and get on with it, don't we?
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. A wee shuffle here and there now. You know, try and keep it all going. I have to say that our manager felt, I think he did, he was getting frustrated with the times that they ignored out the way he was speaking, what he didn't want to do, and they just carried on as if they hadn't said anything. Maybe the next time we should just shut the door on them, don't let them in.
I think he's got their number, if I'm honest, Southside.
Aye, he's no slow with him when they ask the questions, is he? Big Phil, he's good in interviews, talks quite well, sometimes puts a wee funny line in as well. So if he's wanting to come for some good restaurants, mate, he can come out at the south side. I'm sure we could meet up, and I'm sure I could show him around a couple of good places to eat. He'll not get disturbed.
Well said, Paul.
I did notice the one that was doing the rounds and was in the West End, God's country, you know.
There's God's country out here as well, mate. He'll no need to wear a wig, that's for sure. We'll get Big Stevie down for security.
He'll know what I'm doing if you're having a dinner, he'll know that.
I can't beat me, Phil, and no invite the big man, kid.
You know, where would you take him? Just for saying sake, if you were going to take him out for a meal, where would you take him on the south side?
You want me to reveal that?
No.
Where would
you take him? Because you're not going to go with you.
What do you mean? There's plenty of lovely places in the south side where he could be eaten.
I'm just asking you because I don't know.
Anyway, we've been joined by Jim. Evening, Jim.
Hi, Oaks. Yeah.
How we doing, mate?
I'm doing fine, and I'd like to congratulate you on the interview you conducted with the great Colin Stein.
It was all Colin, mate. I'm just a puppet.
Well, Colin Stein, as you probably know, I've said before, a hero of mine, you know. Not for only the 72, but I remember him when I was a school kid, getting a bus all the way through the port, all the way up to through Paisley and into Glasgow to get the games. And I've seen Colin score his first hat-trick for Rangers, you know. And then he scored another one, and then it was a double straight after in the next game. The guy was just fantastic. That's what you call a centre.
Well, we're having problems. I hope with Jim's been up to it and all, but I'm sure we'll get him back in. Saying the same thing. We're not cutting him off. We just seem to be having issues. Aye, good. Listen, we know what we had with Colin, didn't we? A real legend. But as we Bud said, well, you didn't do a lot after your first 3 games. I always thought that line was funny, Southside.
Aye. Oh, like I said, listen, when you come and sign for Rangers, it's if you're a number 9 and you're there to score goals.
Somebody's got a show in the background. Yep, all right. You back with us, Jim?
I am, thank you. I seem to be getting cut off with international calls in the last few times I've come on the show, you know.
I don't know what the issue is, mate. We're not doing it, so we
do. Your name must be Davy.
Dave, listen, I can't say that. I can't give you Davy the same answer, but we don't do it to you, Jim.
Yes, sure.
Right, Jim first, and then Davy can come back in if he lasts that long. Jim.
Yes, I probably missed it because what are we talking about now?
No, we left it with you. You were just talking about Colin, yeah?
Oh, yes, aye. Yeah, I was just saying how great I thought the interview was with you and him, and about my past experience as a young boy watching him playing. And it'd be so great if we could just get somebody in that mould. I put a wee message on the feed earlier talking about the likes of Negri and Michael Moles and then the Gascoigne. But I think Colin Stein's right up there with them as being such a fantastic player, you know. And it's something that we need now. Is somebody that can put the ball in the back of the net, you know. It really is. And also, I don't think Shanklin's the answer. I think there's possibly cheaper, better out there, you know.
Give us a name, Jim. Give us a name.
Well, if I could give you the name that's going to do it, then I'd be saying I want that job at Ibrox, you know.
Mm-hmm. But the bold statement to make there's better and cheaper. Come on, give us a name.
No, there definitely is, and it's all about scouting. It's all about scouting and knowing where these young 20-year-olds are, you know. Right. And there's lots of them. And England's got quite a lot of them, but you pay a lot of money for them. So that's why we go abroad. We take chances. But I think we've made far too many mistakes in the last couple of years in signing centre forwards. We are totally lacking in goal scorers, and we need goal scorers because that's what wins games. And if you ask Colin, and I think he said it earlier, it's all about scoring goals, and that's from a centre forward.
You're here. Old Davy, and then we've been joined by Smurf. Old Davy.
I'm scared to see it in case I get caught up. No, Jim's said everything what he was talking about, and it's just, this is unbelievable that Danilio's where he is. I just heard that tonight on the show that he'd been nobbled, but when I heard the big man saying they're going to need surgery, I went, oh, come on, where's this going? But I'd just like to pick up something on the Colin Stein interview. I thought it was fantastic when you were talking to him about, he was talking about Beckenbauer, and he says, must be one of the greatest players in the world. He says, in fact, I swapped jerseys with him. He says, no, and I've still got it, and it's up in the loft. Up in the loft. I would have that hanging out my front door. That's brilliant, you know. It's so modest, you know. It's up in the loft somewhere. Anyway, carry on, guys. I'll let my good pal come in.
Yeah, evening, Smurf.
Evening, how you doing? Is all right, troops?
All right, mate.
Just going back to the striking options.
Uh-huh.
Would anybody be averse? Well, I know Bridge would, but to a bid for Majowski?
No for me, mate. No for me.
No.
And I'll tell you why. Yeah. When I've watched him, it's I know the boy can finish, but he's another one that's not got a lot of pace, mate. Just my opinion.
Same with Shanklin. That's why I wouldn't go for Shanklin right now. But I just thought, given his age and his profile, it was maybe somebody we could get a tune out and then sell on. You know,
I've had a choice between the two of them personally, and I'll take this. If you ask me what one I would take out the two of them, I'd take Shanklin. I think we need to get some kind of Scottish identity back in our team that knows what it's about Southside, and then he can.
Big Boy didn't have much pace, but he still scored plenty of goals in a Rangers jersey, Smurf. And I think Shankland, I think we've missed the boat. I think he'll probably come in at too much money. Strikers cost money. Hearts, he's their captain. He's the guy that scores their goals. They've got to replace somebody like him. And they might ask for a bit more than what he's probably worth. But if we do get him, or we can get him, then I still think he can come into that team and he'll score plenty of goals for us in the Premier League. That's where we need to start scoring goals first and foremost, and worry about Europe later. So he's a guy that could come into your team. The chances we create, he'll score goals.
AK.
I would. It depends on the kind of price we're talking about with Miovski, Smurf. I like him myself. He scored a cracking goal in the semi-final against Hibs, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he was quick enough to outpace the Hibs defence. He was quick enough to outpace our defence, and he dispatched it away well. He's obviously a international as well. But it depends what Aberdeen would be looking for. Probably Shanklin is one of us. 28 isn't he that old? I think we would get a good couple of years out of him. If you're running about the 2 million mark and maybe even throw in Lowry to kind of seal the deal, then I think that would be good going forward, because what's happened now with Danilo has just amplified the reason why we need a striker in there to kind of take us the line, hopefully in the second half of the season.
Yes. Davey, in you come, mate. Oh, see, you bring him in. You bring him in, Southside, and he doesn't talk.
Is he there? I think he disappeared.
Hold on. I was on mute.
Got him eating a biscuit.
Aye, that's right. Aye. I'm eating a chocolate cookie. I think we should be concentrating. I know we're looking for a centre if he's out that long. I would play Big Seamer through the middle and put McCausland out wide and the wee man Matondo. I would do that.
No,
but we still need.
Can't just be 3 players, but we'll still need reinforcement outside.
I think you heard Clement talk about it. Seamer's done good work coming slightly wide, and he made that run through the middle. He'll be in a different position, Davey, all the time when he's trying to get the ball. We play a lot of diagonal balls and deep balls, and he's got pace to run in behind in that position, which he said we've no had because Matondo's not been fit. He might move him in, but I think probably what he's doing now in the position he's in, we're getting the best out of him. So it's all right saying play him through the middle. Probably have to put Dessers in on Sunday and just go with it. That's what he'll probably do. I don't see him really moving, Seamer, to be honest, Davey, at the moment. And like you said, he's not a lot of time to try it out. I think he's happy the way Seamer's playing the now. But you never know. It is an option for him to put him through the middle. But I think the first thing he said is we do need backup. We definitely need a striker to come in. And if it means trying to get rid of one of them in the summer that's costing us money, if it has to be Roof and they're trying to move him on, get him off the wage bill, probably his wages alone could get you somebody in the door.
Well, his contract's up in the summer, mate.
Aye, when he's probably one of the least options of getting out the door in January. But I mean, see, at the end of the day, once we start clearing the decks with players that aren't contributing and ones that we know we're going to get rid of, there'll be a hefty wage bill there, Ox. No. So there'll be plenty of money available.
Back to Smurf, when you come, mate.
Aye, I would think about it. If we could, I'd take them both. We need goals. We need players, and we've got to get rid of it. It's going to be another roller coaster summer getting players out the door. I think we've got 8 out of contract, haven't we? 7 out of contract, one going back to their parent club, which is Seamer, and that's before you try and offload the duds that have come in, So it's going to be a busy time. It's like everything, it all comes down to money, and I suppose if you can get Shankland in at the right price, you take him. But I definitely see something, and I quite fancy that boy, Majowski. The only problem is do you want to be lining their pockets? But he's proven in the league. He's a proven goal scorer in this league, you know.
No, I can't. But I know. My thing is, I'm not saying the two of them are rapid. I just think sometimes we need to try and get some of our identity back. I get Jim's point, maybe too much money, but I like Rangers supporters in my team, Jim.
Yes, definitely. I agree with most of the things that everybody's saying, you know, but I think I watched Clement's interview today, and he has said that he's looking for a centre forward, you know. And the only reason he's not putting Seema up there, who's in good goal scoring form, is because he hasn't got enough wingers to cover the positions, you know, on a wing. And one of the good things that's happened over the last few weeks is young McCausland coming in. And looking at McCausland with all the other players, he looks fitter, faster, more intuitive, and he looks as if he's got so much more about him than the players that we've already got. And he's come out the academy. Now, we got this academy some time ago to produce players. And most of the really good players we've produced, we've sold them all, you know. There just might be a boy that could score goals for us who's in the same sort of level as McCausland. We might be lucky. But Clement, I think, has got his vision set on bringing somebody in.
I've got a funny feeling, and I can't back this up. Southside and then AK. I think he was looking at a centre forward, and this has just exacerbated the problem.
I think he looked a bit peed off. I think was more I was thinking when he was having to talk about the injuries and that about the players. They've probably looked at him and Van der Heyden and that, and they've probably looked at Ox and knows that we probably need more strength up there because, as we've said, and we all know, Roof isn't reliable. Dessers hasn't really hit the ground running, and now Danilo's it. So we have to. And Seema, I don't know if he's a natural centre forward. He might go into that position if we can get Matondo fit and up to speed. But we're still short there again. If he took an injury, then probably Seema would have to go back out.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that line in the press conference when he said we've not got enough wingers? Yeah.
Aye. But as you said, the boy at Aberdeen, he scored goals this year. Has he proven himself? Duke was the same a year ago. People were on here saying we should maybe sign Duke for Aberdeen, and where's he now? Van Veen was the same at Motherwell. Had a good sort of one season, mobile, but he's 32. I just think Shanklin was there before Hearts got him. He was kicking about Scotland, and we could have probably took the chance then, but we chose not to. We always go for this expensive option and a foreign striker, and I think it's, like I say, it's a hard job to fill. Kolak came in and got off to a good start, and then you know what happened there. Sakala done no bad in that position for the deal that we got him for and what he returned for us, but Dessers has no started well at all and doesn't look like he's going to finish his career at Rangers. So we need to get a goal scorer, and sometimes you just need to look round about your league because sometimes they're just sitting there and they might just go in and do a job for you. So that might be the best option.
I would go with that, South. I mean, we're kind of scratching our heads, so you wonder how Clement's feeling about it, and you're right. I mean, it really depends on the price bracket, doesn't it? We're not in that stage where we could cherry pick any club for their best players years ago, like say we went to Hibs for Colin, Stein. These sort of guys aren't as much as we were then. Certainly not in that sort of price range that we could afford to do that. So I think Shanklin comes into that bracket. He ticks a lot of boxes. He's at a good experienced age. It just depends whether Hearts and Rangers can come to some sort of arrangement over. But we're certainly light up top there. No idea how long Lovelace is it for you, because we've never really heard much about it.
We heard it was a grade A term. A grade A term. It was minimum 8 weeks, mate. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
For a hamstring, mate, for somebody so young, mate, you need to nurse them back. Make sure that they play with his confidence. But listen, we'll see where it takes us. But did anybody, I'll go to Smurf first with this, did anybody notice the Canelo incident? Because I can't remember it in the game.
No, I was racking my brains about that, actually. It didn't take long right enough, but I was trying to... I can't think of an incident that happened. There's nothing springs to my mind.
No, me neither. I can't think in Southside.
The ball came up at the start of the second half. I think it was in about the 73rd minute. He took a touch and the boy came in right through the back of him. Nah, I've not got a clue either. No, I never seen anything at the game, mate, to be honest. I didn't see anything. I was surprised.
So you know, my team's Dundee United, alright?
Alright. And can I just say something, by the way, just quickly? Can I just thank my big wingman who does the shows usually on a Wednesday night? Because the big man generously gave me his ticket to go to Tynecastle, and there's no many people out there would do that, and that's the power of the show, mate. I've known Stevie for many a year, haven't I, as you know, Ox. And we've become good friends and all that, with a lot of same interests. And the one is the Glasgow Rangers in this show, mate, but it was a generous offer for him to do that for us, and I've told him that, and I appreciate it.
You'll pay for that many times over.
I know, but yeah, well, he's got one cup finals ticket going on too, so that's what he's requested. But no,
he's double wide.
And there'll be 3 pies flung in as well, no doubt. But no, he done that. That was some offer, and it was generous of him to do that, mate, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah. It is the power of the show, mate. We don't realise. We don't.
No, we don't, mate.
We don't. Oh, Davey, in you come, mate.
Aye, say spot on about his old wing mate there, you know. He puts everything into it, even when he's belting that flute out. I've seen it pass me a few times when I've been there watching him. But I think the problem we've got now is we've got to try and get something for the cup final. It's thrown up that predicament now. But I think we've got enough there to cover at this moment to beat that mob in the final. But it doesn't look very great for the rest of the league game, especially for it to play that monkey mob. But we never surrender, do we?
No, but I mean, you've got 3 weeks. We'll pick up more injuries, and you never know. Roof could come back in, and he could be fit by then. Stranger things have happened. You just have to, as Big Phil says, Jim, you can only deal with the kids you've got.
Yeah. Injuries have been a big problem for not only us, but for other teams in football. There seems to be a lot of players that are getting, seem to be more injury prone, or maybe it's just reported more. I don't know. But I think, as I said before, I think Clement is definitely looking for a centre forward to come in. He knows where he's got his strength, and I think he's going to be strengthening at the back. He's going to be strengthening up front. But it would be nice to say maybe get some young boy, as I say, some young boy coming in from maybe a 19-year-old or something. If we've got such a thing there, they get you about 18 and that's it. But if you got something about a 19, 20-year-old that could come in and that could do the business up front, then that might help the situation quite a bit,
Oh, I don't know who's getting there. I don't know he's coming through. Southside, we're unlucky. I mean, we might not have got McCausland, but the boy Lovelace can play wide and up top,
Aye, he could, and unfortunately for us, he's took that injury when he got his chance at St Mirren, or he might have had a chance to feature in the team. It's all right saying go and get a boy at 20-year-old and he might come in and do the business. That's the problem. No, we can't really afford to be doing that. It's all right. You'll not get a young boy maybe at 20 now that's can score goals all over the place and I think he's going to be a finished article. If we're going to get a striker in now, then we either get one in about 24 to 25, 26, or as you say, you're in your prime at 27, 28. So either or, we want somebody that can score in this league first and foremost, that knows the league. And with the chances we create, then I think it's a no-brainer if we can get somebody in Scotland at the right price. We've tried foreigners or other place ops, and it doesn't always work. So, it's the way we have to go. We just need to box clever. We can't afford wasting any more money. So we need to get it right.
Tom Lawrence, AK, looks as if he never seemed with the injury. Was it looked like his calf to me? I might be wrong.
Mm-hmm. It's really unfortunate, really unlucky for Lawrence. He's been out for a lengthy period of time, and he's just when he's starting to kind of hit his straps a wee bit, and he said he's never felt fitter. Then he goes down early minutes at Tynecastle, and the gaffer's plans are up in the air again. To be fair, Cifuentes come on and had an improved performance, shall we say, for what he's been gaining. But he must be scratching his head with all these injuries and the men that he's got to rely on. There's no many of them. Butland, tick. McCausland, tick. I would say Lundstrom's improved before he came in, but you look round about the squad, boy oh boy, Seema, aye, Tavernier's chipping in the goals as usual. But apart from that, half a dozen players, and you're trying to make a team, to go for a treble and progress in Europe. You can just realise that the kind of the hurdles that Clement's got to face in front of him this season.
And you can't Ryan Jack and Scott Wright's injuries they've ran on as well. AK.
Well, that's unbelievable. 10 minutes for Scotland, and now that's 5 games. He can't kick a ball with us. Scott Wright was the same. Couple of appearances before the international break. I think we were going to be get a player out of him, and then all of a sudden he's missing too. It's you're banging your head against the wall here, aren't you?
Talking about banging your head against the wall, Southside, just to let you know, they're back against Birmingham tonight. You get beat 2-0 again. See, you said you won the touch there, man.
Aye, they get beat. Good. Them in St Mirren, but they had a Flyburg, I'll give them a right thing, mate. But no, it's what it is, mate. Hopefully we'll be lucky this weekend.
Yeah. Well, we should have enough to see after Davey, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's been depressing about injuries, but you've got to look at the other things. Young McCausland, I mean, that boy is just something else. I mean, his movement, his pace, and they're talking about resting him. I would never rest that. That boy's really up for it. And he's a real star. He is going to be a star. And I'm not just blowing his trumpet for the sake of it. But when you look at what you're getting after, some of them are fed up talking about the certain ones. That boy is the only good thing that's happening now. And the big Seamer seems to be getting back on the form again. But, no, it's not all that doom and gloom, especially when you see that kind of young guy coming through. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there is positive. I mean, if you talk about the last performance, Lundstrom had a good game. You've got to give credit where it's due.
Yep.
Davey?
Yeah. Oh, Lundstrom, I thought Lundstrom was terrific. Apart from the one time he just sort of made a bad pass, but I mean, overall of the game, the defence saved the jerseys there, especially after some of the misses. We're going to hit Big Stein saying that we're going to start putting their ones away. That'll come. Hopefully that'll come. Obviously, it'll know maybe with certain players, but it'll come to other areas. I'm very confident of that. Yeah, definitely. Lundstrom's definitely picked up on his. I think he's better playing where he plays them. And I'm very confident with the manager. And I'm more confident with the manager with what we've got to look forward to. If we can squeeze on through the winter break and still be up there backside, we'll still have a great chance of that league.
Aye. You've got to just keep winning. It's still in our hands, whether we like it or not, AK.
Aye, well, it's a long way to go in the campaign. We've gave ourselves something today here, so we've got we can't just give up. Everybody pays good money to go and follow the team, so we've got to try and get behind the guys and remain positive for as long as the team's gain their all and gain his victories. It gives us an opportunity to hopefully close the gap. The next week, I said before the next kind of 35 games, 35 days, was it about 12 games? It's a big chunk of the season, and if we can come out of that, hopefully with a trophy, hopefully progressing in Europe and cut the gap, then it's game on after the winter break.
So said it's hard to believe. I mean, we've got a cup final next Sunday, but we've got 2 massive games. They're both important for different reasons.
Aye, we've got to make sure that we keep winning in the league, Ox. That's imperative, so that is a big game tomorrow. And then obviously we go into the European game, which we were hoping we might have been able to maybe rest a couple of players or whatever, but listening to our manager, he's got other ideas, so I think he'll put out a competitive team, or whatever team he'll be able to put out. It should be competitive, but it looks like we can still win that, Ox. We beat them, take a bridge man that night, and that's us tapping the group in it, so that's what we've got ahead of us. And then obviously we're looking for the following Sunday to pick up that trophy. I mean, we used to have our name on it regular. I'm looking forward to going to Hampden, but that's the one that's got to be done. There can't be any excuses. And I thought about it, and I thought, if this team let us down at all in any way, shape or form, and what will happen then? Tav, Golston, Bourne and that, there'll be nothing left for them. They're hanging on by a thread as it is, and the supporters' eyes by some of them. So no, they have to accomplish this. A week on Sunday, mate. They definitely have to make sure that Glasgow Rangers are lifting that cup. But I'm sure the manager will have it well sorted out by then, mate. But we've got 3 games. We've got 2 games before that, and hopefully we'll get through them without any more injuries. And hopefully 3 points in each game would be even better.
How do you see it going tomorrow, Jim?
Sorry?
How do you see the game going tomorrow?
I think we'll hopefully. I think we'll win. Yeah, it's very difficult playing three games a week, and as you know, we've all seen it, we've all watched it, and the European games seem to be the games where we up the tempo and play our best. And when it comes to the drab Premier in Scotland, we sort of slip up sometimes. But then again, other teams in England do it. Newcastle slipped up the other night after playing 3 games, so it does take its toll on the players. But I think we should. I know Dundee have been playing quite well, and I think they've got about 18 points or something, and they're on a sort of rise. But I think we should have enough to beat them, But then again, it depends what players we've got available, and whether the ones up front or the ones inside or just outside the box take their chances and score the goals, because that's one of the biggest things one of the biggest problems we've got is putting that ball in the net on a consistent basis, and we go through games 0-0, 0-0, 0-0, and then gets to the second half and you might score, and then somebody else, they score, and it's 1 each, and you're sitting there with your heart in your mouth going, my God, what's happening, what's going on, and yet in Europe we tend to put in better performances. So it could be they're putting in better performances in Europe, and then when it comes to the weekend, they're a bit too jaded, a bit too tired, and something's not right,
Aye, I think Clement would like to refresh his squad at times with rotation outside, but some of his options have been limited.
I think probably for tomorrow, he might be inclined to stick to more or less the same team. Apart from obviously Danilo's out, but in Lawrence, you can obviously change it. Cifuentes, I think, would play tomorrow, and I think Dessers is probably a certain to play up front. But the Thursday game's obviously more interesting because you don't know how bad Borner's injury is, and obviously Yilmaz isn't in the squad, so I don't know if he'll even think of getting Dujon Sterling time tomorrow, even playing left back starting. But I don't know, it'll be up to him, as he says. He's had a puzzle every other week that he's had to pick a team. So at the moment, he's doing pretty good, mate, to be honest. We need to keep supporting him all the way and just hope these players that are picked to go in and perform.
Yeah, aye. Listen, we shouldn't have any problems against Dundee, but you've got to go with the right attitude, AK. You know what it's like, being a top-class sportsman yourself in a previous life.
Yeah, aye, well, attitude and application, it does apply to whatever sport you're. If you don't go there with the right attitude, then you can become unstuck. Teams can make it difficult for you. And I think that's really been a part of our problems in the last few games. We've not really started the game well. I think up at Dundee, we scored early doors through Ryan Jack, if I remember right, and we went on to win 5-0. So these are the sort of games that it's a must-win 3 points. And if we score, some goals, then all the better. But it's just trying to piece together the puzzle, is what Clement says, and come out hopefully with the 3 points, and then we can look forward to Thursday.
Yeah. Look forward to Thursday, but we've got to get Saturday the way first and get the 3 points. 3 points is a must, but I'd also like to score a few goals, if possible, just for confidence. Davey?
Aye, you're spot on. I think Sterling's a certain player more. I was very surprised if he doesn't play him, especially with the game midweek. I wouldn't be right. Obviously, he's got to play in the midweek game because obviously there's no other alternative. So I would think he would start with Sterling tomorrow. The goals will come, guys. The goals will come. I know we've been saying that for a wee while, but the injuries have just knocked us for 6. But I still think we've got enough in our tank there and now to take on all the different game midweek, different format. I'm more concerned about the cup anyway, and tomorrow. Very confident about tomorrow, but no injuries on any of the next 2 games. We cannot take any more injuries, guys.
It's just a bit of luck. We need a bit of luck. Jim?
Yeah, I totally agree. We can't have any more injuries. We've got to get through these games without injuries if we want to keep the players that we've got playing. And I am an advocate. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm an advocate for introducing young bloods. That's what they're there for. They're there to come in and do a job whenever we need them. And I'm sure. I think Clement's a fantastic manager. He's totally hands-on, and he knows everything. He knows more about it than any of us put together. So.
Calm down. Maybe not me in Southside. Let's be honest about it, Jim. Come on.
What do you mean?
Oh, we're well educated.
Well educated, you know what I mean?
I know, Billy.
I think Clement will do the job. I think he knows what's going on.
We could count up around, Davey.
Hey, tell me this. When Mick Clement gets that win, can he tell us where he got it so I can get one?
Did you get your email for the Christmas too, Davey?
No, I'm not even going to answer that. You're a wind-up person.
Oh well, you can only ask.
Aye, but I've not had one, no.
No, right. And you call me, you want to ask something before we wind up, mate?
Aye, just yourself, Jim and Davey there on the phone. Colin said that after Barcelona, when we won the European Cup, Winners' Cup, they pretty much sold, they sell Willie Johnson and Alfie Coyne and broke up the team pretty much right away. Do you think if they'd have kept them, plus the additions of Derek Perlane and Derek Johnson and that come into the team, we could have stopped Celtic getting the 9?
I would say yes.
You've got to remember that team that won the Barcelona Bears, when they never get close to the league, mate. And Wally Waddle left, and Jock Wallace wanted to go a different route. I think it was a change in personnel, and it took him about 18 months to put his stamp on the team. Yeah, and we Bud had to leave for discipline. They reckoned he was going to get a 6-month suspension.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and Colin moved, and obviously Alfie Conn, it was a Spurs money, a decent offer at the time. You know, all relevant. Everybody's got a price. And Colin
Chair, I'll give you another question, a better one.
Right.
Would we have got 9 in a row of Gascoigne instead?
Would they get 10 in a row? Would he have got his name?
Sorry, 10 in a row, yeah. 10 in a row.
I'll turn it round. I'll not answer it. would they get 10 in a row if Gascoigne would have left earlier?
I thought Gascoigne was brilliant.
Oh, I love Gazza playing for us, but what I'm saying is the circumstances when they left, and I'm not going to get involved in that. Anyway, did that make sense, AK?
Aye, thanks for your answer, pal. Honest as always.
All right. Right, okay. Last word for your good self, Jim.
I'd just like to, again, thank you for putting my hero on and having that interview with him, Colin Stein. As a young man, he was my hero. I thought he was just absolutely fantastic and such a nice man. Came over very well, spoke very well, and it was excellent. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Jim. Oh, Davey.
Aye, as Jim just said it all there. It was a fantastic experience listening to them. Your whole interview with him was first class, and I thought the question you asked him, they couldn't get who scored that goal if it was only one, but well, that was brilliant. He says, I wouldn't have thought that. Neither did everybody think that because they didn't do it often. Aye, great. Anyway, it's a pleasure being on this show. It's the best show in town, as I say all the time. And you all take care, guys, and stay safe. And we'll do the business tomorrow. God bless the Jails. Good night.
And all the best for the new year, Davey.
No, it was great tonight, mate. It was great to hear Colin Stein on the show, and it was great the way you done the interview with him. It was tremendous, especially for us, the wee platform, you know, that we've got here, and to get somebody like him on and speaking about himself, the club, and what it meant to him to play for Rangers in his career. And it was brilliant. It was good to do a show as well with AK tonight, as always. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. Might be a few changes tomorrow to the team, but as long as we get the 3 points, mate, that's all that matters. And onwards and upwards for the Rangers. So looking forward to tomorrow, mate. So thanks for having us on.
This could be a special weekend. Rangers win, Southside Super 6 Stoats, Southside goes out the last pair standing. I can see it all happening. AK?
If Carol's word done weekends. No, great show tonight. Well done again in the interview with Colin, and thank Colin for coming on. Well done again, Southside, and the rest of the callers. Magic show. Looking forward to the weekend. Hopefully the Rangers get the win. Come on, the Rangers.
Yeah. Thanks to Davey, Jim and Smurf for joining us. The Bridgeman, the fanboy tonight, the oldest fanboy in town, Southside.
Aye, that was brilliant, man. He was all excited, wasn't he? Tremendous. I just love you, Colin. Brilliant.
It was like Jim White, wasn't it? Why were you so good?
You just imagine Mrs. Bridge will be sick here already. She'll be trying to get her tea or cheese and toast tonight.
I'd just love to meet you. I'd just love to meet you, Colin.
Brilliant. Listen, thanks to, as I said, thanks to David, Jim and Smith for joining us, of course. Bridgeman and AK and Southside for doing the show. Southside for having the Super 6, always brilliant. Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals. But the big thanks tonight must go to the one and only Mr. Colin Stein. Great to have Colin on, but a top man. Thanks for listening. Stay safe, everybody. And Rangers Radio will be back at 2 o'clock tomorrow as we build up to a Rangers victory at home to Dundee. Take it away, old school boy.